All right, what's up, guys? So, first things first, I want to thank you guys and acknowledge you guys for taking the time to come to this training. And I don't take it lightly. I really don't, because I believe that everything that you do, you could have done something else. There's a ton of trainings out there. There's a ton of information out there. And you chose to be on this one, man. And I want to thank you for that. And I also want to acknowledge you for that, because I know there's other shit to do, right? So, if you guys don't know, my name is Victor, and I want to welcome you guys to today's training, which is the $1 Million Secrets to Running and Owning Your Own Apartment Building Business, right? So as an investor, I believe that this is a business. A lot of people get into this game because they want to own properties, they want to brag to their friends. But this is a serious business, and I want to teach you the multi-million-dollar principles that I've learned running apartment building as a business, or running apartment building investing as a business. And I know for a fact that you're going to get a ton out of it. All right, so that's cool. So if you've ever heard me teach or train before, you guys know I have two rules. How many rules? Two. First rule, you don't have to believe everything I say, because whose experience can I come from? My experience, that's right. And whose experience does that really matter to? Me. Now, the other thing to that is, even though that it's only my experience, I've actually shared these trainings and these lessons about buying apartment buildings, running it as a business with other real estate investors, and they have actually been successful. So even though it's my experience, and I'm also sharing the experience of other investors that I've taught, also all the things that I've actually learned from other successful apartment building and commercial building players, it's worked. So like I said, you don't have to believe everything I say. All I ask is that you do what? Be open. Do what? Open. And if you're open, just leave, apply these into your own business, your own life, and if they work, keep using them. If they don't, chuck them. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Right. Rule number two. How many of you guys would actually like to learn more or get more out of this training? Or better yet, how many of you guys would actually like to learn faster so you can apply this training in the real world in your life, right? Yes. Yes. Say yeah. Cool. Well, research says the key to all of being able to learn faster, remember more of what you learn, is participation. What? Patient. Yes. And how many of you guys have noticed I've asked a lot of questions? Yep. How many of you guys notice that I'm actually looking at you and requiring that you say some of the things that I say, even if repeating some of the words, because that, my friends, are participation. That is how you get involved, and that is how you remember more. Because there's an old saying, when I hear something, I tend to forget. When I see something, I tend to remember. But when I do it, I participate, I totally understand. And that's really what I want. I want you to understand this so you can take this, like I said, be open and use this in your own life. How many of you guys are okay with that? And the real side to this is this. How you do anything is how you do everything. And if you play at 100% in this training, you will play at 100% in your life, and you will get the results that you're looking for, because everything is about your participation and how you're going to play the game in real life. It doesn't matter about the trainings that you sit through. It's how are you going to actually use it and do something with it. That's really what matters to me. All right. So hopefully that matters to you. Can you guys agree to play like that today? Good. Yes or yes? Yes. Boom. We got it. So the other thing too is, as we're going through this stuff, I'm going to ask you guys to take notes. Sometimes I'm going to ask you guys to repeat some of the stuff I said, or some of the things that I say, I'm going to ask you to, finish the word on some of my sentences. As corny as that sounds, I'd rather make a lot of money and be corny, or be super cool and be broke all the time, because I see a lot of broke dudes trying to be cool, and sometimes they won't do what it takes. Like I said, if everything is energy, then raise your level of play, at least in this training, because how you do anything is how you do what? Everything. Repeat that. So, first, without further ado, we're not going to get into a whole bunch of different stuff, but is it cool if I tell you a little bit about myself? Is that all right? Yes? Yes or yes? Yes. Cool. So my claim to fame is about 20 years ago, just being in the situation that I was. I had a felony charge. I used to hustle. I used to sell drugs. And I was on probation. I had to get a job. And as I was working this job, I was going to work, and I was like, man, there's got to be more to my life than this. So I ended up going to the bookstore one day early for work, and I started reading this book on the floor. And it was about fast cash with real estate. It was my first touch of real estate. I hadn't done anything like that before. And within 12 months, I had done over $1.2 million in real estate deals. That was my claim to fame. That was kind of how, it was like I was like the wonder child, right? And I met a lot of super cool people. They taught me a lot of super cool things. And then the reason why you and I are talking today is because a few years ago, like maybe 2006, 2007, I filed for bankruptcy. I lost everything. I bought an apartment building. Really, I took my eyes off the ball. And I had to rebuild. First, I started off with me. It was a big question, like, what is wrong? Like, why do I keep going through the same shit over and over and over again? And that led me on my own journey of really defining who I was. And within defining who I was, I learned some business strategies as it relates to buying apartment complexes, running it as a business, and making the money that I need to. And then fresh out of bankruptcy, after a year of going through bankruptcy, after that 12-month period, I ended up buying $11 million worth of real estate. And that really set me on a different path, because as I went to all these seminars and I did a bunch of stuff after I turned things around, I became a coach for Dave Lindahl, the Apartment House Riches, and a couple of other coaching businesses. I started speaking and training and doing a bunch of stuff. As I go to seminars, I would listen to people talk, and I was like, man, everything they're teaching is the exact opposite of what I had to do to turn my business around. Because no one was teaching it as a business. They weren't teaching like run and gun and shoot for the hills and have a very clear intention on what your real side of what it is you're trying to do is. They were just teaching. Now, while I teach information on how to do stuff, I want to teach you, more importantly, why you should be doing what you're doing. Because if you don't have a clear intention on being successful, getting rich, and creating wealth in this business, you have a 50-50 chance of winning. And I'll go on to say you will probably be broke the majority of your time playing the game. So that's why I'm here. I want to teach you what I did, what worked for me and what didn't work for me, and really help you actually establish what your business is supposed to look like. If you're going to play the commercial investing game as it relates to apartments, multifamily, whatever it is that you're going to do. But I can promise you, there's a clear line in the sand between people who are successful and rich as real estate investors and who are middle income and broke as real estate investors. And I don't want that for you. All right. So without further ado, that was the introduction, and we're going to move right into the training. But I wanted to make sure that you understood of why I even do this. Man, I want to save you the pain and embarrassment and frustration that I went through trying to figure this out by myself, while I had some coaches and mentors, and I invested a lot of money and spent a lot of time in the real world, cutting my teeth on shit, losing money, making money, building this all up. Eventually, when it did work, I had a very clear understanding of what actually worked. And if nothing else, man, I'm simple, but I'm analytical. I like to take a look at what worked for me and what didn't, and then I turn around and I teach that to other people who want to learn, which is you guys. And I want to set that up for you guys to succeed today. So, hope that wasn't too much, but you're starting to get exactly where we're doing, why we're doing it, and why I believe that this is the best thing. So what's in this for you? You're going to learn the secret strategies that I use, the personal strategies to create this $1 million success secret inside of a business of being an apartment building owner. Is that good or good? Do you guys want that? Right. Because how many of you guys actually want to be more successful in your real estate business? How many of you guys actually want to make a lot of money? How many of you guys actually want to be rich and successful instead of poor and middle class or broke as a real estate investor? Because most are. There's not a lot that make it. All right. Now, the strategies I'm going to teach you, I know for a fact work. And if you apply them into your world and your business, they will work for you too. Like I said, the only thing though, rule number one, you don't have to believe me. Just try it out in your own life. And I'm not going to teach you anything brand new or earth shattering. All right. So when your brain pops up and goes, dude, we know this already, I want you to listen close, because there's a saying that we always say, and I want you to write this down. It's what you think you need the least that you probably need the most. I'll say that again. It's what you think you need the least that you probably need the most. All right? So that said, when your brain says we know that already, that's just resistance popping up. And resistance isn't really set up to stop you. It's just meant to make you pay attention, because in order for you to get to the next level of anything, sports, business, whatever level of play that you go to the next level, resistance is going to show up, and it's your job to make sure that you prove that you belong on that next level. All right, so let's get this thing done. Stay tuned for the next video.